This is K.M. Weiland, and you're listening to the 97th episode of the Wordplay Podcast. The new direction my historical work in progress is headed in must be a good one, because I'm having a ball. I'm this close to finishing the brand spanking new first chapter, which included such fun new adventures as standing down a charging Cape buffalo and playing polo. The weather's finally warming up around here, my 3 little kittens are just about too cute to bear, and my story is cooperating 100%. Beautiful, sunshiny summer must be on the way, yeah? Does your story maintain consistency in the details? The latest post in the video series on my blog discusses some of the more notorious inconsistencies in Elizabeth Gaskell's classic Wives and Daughters as a warning for authors to check their facts. You can watch the video on my blog at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com. New videos are posted every Wednesday. Meanwhile, enjoy this week's podcast, The Secret Ingredient of Original Stories. Over 500,000 books were published in the last year alone. Makes you wonder if maybe everything there is to be said has already been said, doesn't it? With so many new books churning from the print mills every day, surely every idea has been done to death. What room is left for originality? You may look at the half-finished manuscript in your computer folder and then click through the latest releases on Amazon and cringe at how similar some of them sound to your own story. Are there any original stories left to be written? And if so, how do you find one to write? I'm about to give you the answers, but not without a most important caveat. I have to preface my answer by telling you, in all seriousness, that this is the deepest, darkest of writerly secrets. Originality is achieved thanks to a single super-secret ingredient. Brace yourselves, and try very, very hard not to scream. The secret ingredient is you. Hey, I did warn you it was scary looking. Ultimately, nothing is new under this sun of ours. What has been before will be again. The wheel of time rolls on, the seasons cycle, patterns repeat. Struggling against this inevitable truth won't help you create the next Stephenie Meyer-esque trend. In fact, sometimes the more we try to be original, the more hackneyed our stories end up sounding. The only truly original element writers have it within their power to access is themselves. Thriller master David Morrell, in a November-December 2010 Writer's Digest interview with Jessica Strouser, explained, "When I teach writing, I have a mantra. Be a first-rate version of yourself, and not a second-rate version of another writer. I talk about how every writer has a dominant emotion, and if you can identify it and try to understand it, it becomes your subject matter, and it makes you different from everybody else. No one in this world, before or since, possesses exactly your set of gifts and perspectives. No one else sees life precisely as you do. It's true that, just as most of us learn to read using the same set of letters and symbols, most of us learn to view the world through similar frameworks and points of reference. But just as everyone who reads the same book comes away with a different mental and emotional experience, each of us also translates his knowledge of the world into a unique story. The best of writing is honest writing. So long as you're being brutally honest with yourself on the page, digging deep to find the buried ideas that are yours alone, beneath all the chatter and color of those 500,000 other ideas, you'll never have to worry about originality. Children's author Kathy Appelt, in a May 2011 The Writer interview with Mary Quattlebaum, drove the point home. I write to fill the hole in my heart. At any given time, all of us have an empty spot, one that is calling for companionship, for example, or for justice, love, romance, or a belly laugh. When I sit down to write, I look to see what hole needs filling at that particular moment. Sometimes that can be painful, but it can't be ignored. Flat or uninteresting writing often signals something deeper that is being covered up. Be honest in your writing. Identify the originality inherent in yourself. Then turn it loose on the page and stun the world. Thank you for listening to the Wordplay Podcast. To read a transcript of this episode, visit me on the web at wordplay-kmweiland, that's weiland.blogspot.com, and be sure to listen again next week.